You both walked away, but you both know neither of you has truly moved on. And right now, whether you say it out loud or keep it quietly locked inside, these 4 signs are already revealing what still exists between you. Signs you can feel. Signs your body already recognizes. Signs that prove this isn't over. There is a reason this particular ending feels different from anything you have experienced before. Psychology shows us that not all separations are the same. Some goodbyes carry a natural finality. The heart processes them, accepts the loss, and with time finds its footing again. But there are other kinds of goodbyes, the ones where something real, something that genuinely understood you at a depth most people never reach, was suddenly no longer there. And those goodbyes don't settle. They remain present. They live in the quiet spaces between your thoughts, in your mornings, in your sleepless hours. In the way certain songs still reach inside you and hold something that has no other name. You are not weak for feeling this. You are not stuck, and you are not failing at healing. What you are experiencing right now is the honest recognition that what existed between you and this person was not ordinary. Something real was built there, something that left a mark. And your heart, which has always known the difference between something surface level and something soul deep, simply cannot pretend otherwise, because it never agreed to the ending. And that truth is important, because when a heart doesn't agree to an ending, it is usually because something real remains unfinished. And that is exactly what these 4 signs are here to show you. The first sign is what psychologists call the memory ambush. You will be moving through a completely ordinary moment, making your morning coffee, driving a familiar road, catching a song drifting from somewhere nearby. And without any warning, they are suddenly there. Not as a distant thought you can easily push aside, as a feeling that lands, a presence that settles into your chest with a weight that stops you for just a moment, that makes you go still. This is not random, and it is not weakness. Psychology shows us that when 2 people form a genuine emotional bond, that connection becomes encoded in the nervous system itself. The other person's energy, the way they made you feel, the specific quality of being truly understood by them, all of it gets written into your body's memory. And when something in your environment matches even one piece of that encoding, your whole system retrieves the full emotional experience, not just a memory. A presence, a feeling that is completely current, completely alive. The ambush is your body telling you what your mind is still trying to rationalize away. And what psychology shows us clearly is this. This kind of deep neural imprinting only happens in relationships that reached genuine depth. Surface-level connections leave surface-level impressions. The ones that go all the way through you are the ones that stay. If you are experiencing this right now, you can be certain of one thing. So are they. But the second sign is the comparison silence. You may have tried to move forward. You may have met new people, had conversations that were perfectly pleasant, and spent time in company that was, by any reasonable measure, good. But beneath all of it, there has been this quiet awareness, this subtle gap, the sense that something isn't quite landing at the same depth, that the resonance is close but not quite there. This is not you being impossible to love. This is not you self-sabotaging. Psychology calls this comparative anchoring, the way your nervous system uses its most significant emotional reference point to evaluate new experiences. When someone has truly known you, not the version of you that functions efficiently in the world, but the you that thinks quietly, feels everything, and notices what others miss. Your system remembers what that felt like, and it cannot easily settle for less. Not because you are broken, but because your heart knows the difference between something genuine and something approximate. The silence after a conversation with someone new, that almost but not quite feeling, that subtle flatness you can't quite name, is your emotional intelligence being completely honest. It is telling you that what you shared with this person operated at a frequency that is not easily replicated. Your heart is still tuned to that signal. It hasn't released it, and right now, across whatever distance separates you, neither has theirs. The third sign is what psychologists call relational presence, but most people simply experience it as the invisible check-in. You don't reach out. Maybe you've made a deliberate decision not to. Maybe circumstances make contact impossible, but you notice. You notice when something in your environment quietly connects back to them. You notice when you are somewhere that holds a memory of them. And you notice when something happens in your life, something that moves you, something that genuinely matters, and your very first thought before your rational mind has a chance to catch up is that you wish you could tell them, that they would understand it in a way no one else quite does. This is not something to be ashamed of. This is what happens when someone has truly entered your inner world. Your mind built an internal version of them from every real conversation you shared. Every comfortable silence, every moment of being fully seen and accepted without needing to explain yourself. And that internal version doesn't vanish when physical contact ends. It remains. It participates in your daily life. It still shows up in the moments that matter most. Psychology is very clear on this. When a connection was real, both people carry this presence. The invisible check-in is happening on both sides, right now in their own quiet moments, in their own still hours. You are showing up for them too, present, unasked for, and completely real. The fourth sign is the unfinished feeling. You know the one. It lives just beneath everything else. This quiet sense that the story between you didn't arrive where it was supposed to. That something went unsaid. That the real conversation, the one beneath all the other conversations, never quite happened. You may have replayed certain moments, not to torture yourself, but because something in them still feels open, like a sentence without its ending, like a question that deserved an answer and never received one. Psychology draws a clear distinction between two kinds of endings. There is the kind that carries its own resolution, where both people feel the completion of something, where peace arrives naturally, even without a formal goodbye. And then there is the kind of ending where the heart never agreed to the conclusion, where timing stepped in too early, where fear spoke louder than truth, where circumstances pulled two people apart before what they had was ever fully faced. Those endings don't resolve quietly. They stay. They wait. Your unfinished feeling is not evidence that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that what existed between you deserved more than the ending it received. That something real was interrupted before it could reach its truth. And some things, the ones the soul already knows matter, find their moment in their own time. Here is what I want you to carry with you from everything you've just heard. Walking away, even when it was right, even when it was necessary in that moment, did not make you cold. It did not make you someone who gives up easily. And continuing to feel this, even now, even after time has passed and life has kept moving around you, is not something to be fixed. It is a reflection of the kind of heart you carry, a heart that does not love carelessly, a heart that, once it connects at this depth, stays connected even when it isn't permitted to show it. You deserve to know that what you felt was real, not dramatized,